Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Benedict here again from Jagigan Company Associates, and I want us to continue with the step 2C. Initially, we had done the creation of variables for the current financial year in review, and now we want to create variables for the budgeted values. So let me just take you to where we need to do our Python code. So here I have Jan variables. So let me just try to explain what we mean. Jan variables for budgeted values. So initially we are done the variables for YTD and the variables for current financial period and the variables for the prior period. For now we want to do the variables for the budgeted values. So here we have Jan variables. I'll just try to explain. So after explaining the variables for Jan, then we'll move to the variables for February. So let me just try to expand the code. So here we have Jan variables started with Jan underscore monthly underscore B to mean budget, and then you're saying it's equal to data underscore B dot log, then square bracket, then parentheses, then data underscore B. The financial year is equal to year input, and the period is equal to period 1, and period 1 is January, so this is the budget for January. And then we are changing columns from value to Jan underscore budget, and then we are also trying to drop the columns that are necessary, and then the axis is equal to 1 because we are dropping columns. So when we go to cumulative sum, so cumulative sum, we are saying that Jan underscore cumulative sum underscore B is equal to data underscore B dot log in square bracket, then in parentheses data underscore B, then the financial year is equal to year input, and then the period is equal to period 1, which is January, and then again we are changing we are renaming columns value to YTD underscore budget, and then we are dropping also unnecessary columns. Here we are trying to rename value YTD budget, and we are also again trying to name value in Jan underscore monthly Jan budget. So in short, what we are trying to do is to compare the actual values with the budgeted values, and again with the prior period values. So we'll be having the values for the budget, monthly budget, and then we'll also have the values for year-to-date budget, and then we'll compare these values with the actual monthly figures, and again with the actual YTD figures, and then again these values will be compared with the prior period figures in terms of monthly and year to date. So we also have Jan opening stock for the budget. So this is the variable, and then we are saying that is equal to Jan underscore monthly B underscore B, then in bracket Jan underscore monthly underscore B category is equal to opening stock, and then Jan opening stock for cumulative sum will be equal to Jan underscore cumulative sum underscore B Then again in square bracket Jan underscore sum underscore B, then category is equal to opening stock. Then when you go to closing stock, we have closing stock as Jan underscore monthly underscore B. Then in square bracket Jan underscore monthly underscore B, category is equal to closing stock. Then the cumulative sum for closing stock is Jan underscore cumulative sum underscore B, Jan underscore cumulative sum, then category is equal to closing stock. So the variable figures for January is direct, is straightforward. So what will differ in variables will start from February, where we'll have the cumulative figures being starting from the period 1 up to the period that is being analyzed. So let's see the variables for February. So let me just try to uncomment this one, to uncomment the February variables. Then again I will comment the March variables. So when we come to February, we have February underscore monthly underscore B is equal to data underscore B dot log. Then in bracket, then parenthesis, data underscore B. Then a financial year is equal to year underscore input, then data rather the period is equal to 2. So here you can see the period is equal to 2, but when we go to the cumulative sum, the period is less than or equal to 2. So again, we are trying to rename the value as Feb underscore a budget, and then we are dropping the unnecessary columns. So when you come to Feb Feb cumulative sum for the budget, we are saying that it is equal to data underscore B dot log, then in square bracket, then parenthesis, data underscore B, then the financial year is equal to year input, and then the period now is equal to less than or equal to 2. So the period is less than or equal to 2 because the budget has been done monthly. So we need to have this, rather we need to have the sum total for the values from January to February. But the problem comes when you want to access the cumulative sum of the closing stock. When you use the cumulative sum of the closing stock using the period as less than or equal to 2, it means that it will sum the closing stock of January with the closing stock of February. So when we come to closing stock, accessing the closing stock will use different coding to have the right closing stock of the succeeding periods. So here we have cumulative, or rather Feb underscore cumulative sum underscore B is equal to data dot log in square brackets, then in parentheses data underscore B, then financial year is equal to year input, and then the period is equal to or less than 2. So we cannot use 2 as we've used up here. So here it is less than or equal to 2 because we want the cumulative sum of the budget figures from January, the period in review. And then we are renaming columns value is YTD budget. YTD is equal to year to date for the budget, meaning from January up to February, and then again we are dropping unnecessary columns. Then we are grouping by category, ledger, and then we are getting the sum rather we are summing those category and ledger groups, and then we are resetting the index. So when we go to closing stock, when we go to closing stock, you can see a moment. So we are saying here that Feb underscore OS underscore monthly underscore B has to mean opening stock is equal to Feb underscore monthly underscore B, then Feb underscore monthly underscore B, where category is equal to opening stock. So this is monthly, so there's no problem, it's straightforward. But when we go to Feb Feb underscore OS and underscore cumulative sum. So when we pick here this variable for cumulative sum, this one here, and put it under where we have Jan underscore cumulative sum, it means that the opening stock of January will be summed with the opening stock for February, which is not correct. So for the cumulative sum, we'll use a uniform figure for the opening stock for January. So in each and every month, rather in each and every succeeding month, the opening stock will be same as that opening stock for January. That's why the opening stock for February is equal to Jan and for cumulative sum underscore B, then square bracket Jan underscore cumulative sum underscore B, then category is equal to opening stock. Again, when we move to closing stock for monthly, this one is also straightforward. We'll just pick the rather we'll read the figures as they are in our Excel sheet, and then when we move to closing stock for February, again we are picking the Feb monthly figures, because when we pick the Feb cumulative figures, it means that the Feb figures will be cumulative figures of January and February, so we cannot take the variables, rather the values of the variable for cumulative figures. So here we are saying that Feb underscore CS underscore cumulative sum underscore B is equal to Feb monthly underscore B, Feb monthly underscore B, then category is equal to closing stock. It means that the closing stock for both monthly and cumulative sum will be same, and then the opening stock for cumulative sum will be that opening stock for January, and then the opening stock for monthly figures will be, of course, the closing stock of the previous period, but from our Excel workbook, the opening stock has been clearly stated and closing stock also has been clearly stated. But since we are saying that the variables for cumulative sum is equal to less than or equal to, then the closing stock will be added, rather will be summed together. That's why instead of choosing the closing stock cumulatively, we are taking the closing stock for the monthly figures as we've done in this code. So the procedure is same for all these other variables for March up to December. So I will just try to uncomment all the variables. So you can see for March we have the March cumulative sum. So let me just try to make it a little bold. So March cumulative sum, you can see we have the variable here. Just a moment. We have this variable as March underscore cumulative sum. Excuse me. Then data underscore b dot log dot rather in brackets, square brackets, then parentheses data underscore b, then the financial year is equal to year underscore input, then the data, rather the period is less than or equal to 3. Then again the columns we are renaming value to YTD budget, and then when you come to monthly variable for March, we are renaming the column value to March underscore budget. But again, when you come to the opening stock for March is also straightforward. We're just picking the monthly figures, and when we go to March opening stock cumulative sum, again we are taking the March cumulative figures. So this again is not correct. We need to pick the March monthly figures for opening stock. Rather, we need to pick the January opening figures as closing stock. So here in March, we need to pick this one for January. So this will be for March, because the opening stock for cumulative figures is same from January up to December. So what differs is the closing stock. But again, when you come to closing stock, the monthly figures for closing stock will be the same as the cumulative figures for closing stock for each and every month. So the same principle is same from January up to December. So at least I hope you've understood how we come up with the variables for budget. So when I come down here, so let me uncomment this one out first. When I come down here and print December, let's go. Yes. So this is closing stock for December. Let me write this again. It's a bit slow, but then again there's an error somewhere, so let's see where the error is. Unresolved 1050. I think that had been resolved. It's only that the Python programming language is a bit slow. So let me try to run the code again. So here the period number is 12, and then the financial year is 2017. So here we have YTD budget, sub-ledger, all that. Then now we have closing stock. I think there's another printout up here that is bringing the confusion. Another printout. Go to get variables. So let me comment this one out and rerun this code again. So we'll use period 12. Period 12. And then this one is 2017 financial year in review. So December, just try to come down. So December closing stock cumulative sum is 793.04. So let's see if we have the same in our Excel. So when you check here, you can see the closing stock for as at December is 793.04. So that is correct. Again, we can also print December OS, December opening stocks. Let me delete this one, then rerun it again. The Python code is a bit slow. For the period is 12, financial year in reviews 2017. So our closing stock, okay, opening stock is 793.04. So let's see from our Excel workbook. So we said that opening stock for each and every period for cumulative sum is same for each and every period. So this should be 793.04. That's the opening stock. We have 793.04.41 as opening stock for the variable or cumulative sum for the month of December. But when we print for monthly, let me just write here monthly. So what do we expect for monthly for December? The opening stock would be 749.120. So let's see. It's very slow. So period 12. Then here we have 2017. Here we are having opening stock 694.520. This is for December, so let's see. 694, yeah, it's 694,720, 694,520. So ladies and gentlemen, we've done the variables for budgeted figures, or rather the variables for the budget. So when we come back, we'll do the variables for the input. So when I talk about input, I mean, for example, when you are in period, let's say period 3, meaning March. So when you put the period for March, it will give you the financials for that particular period. So it will not give you the financials for January, February, or other period, or April or May. It will just give you the variables for that particular period in review. So when we come back, we'll do the variables for the input, and for the periods and financial years in review that the user will input. So let's stop at that, and thanks a lot for watching. And for those of you who have not subscribed, please subscribe, and please share, so that we can learn how to automate financial reports with Python, or rather with Python. So thanks a lot for watching, and let's meet again in the